The world does not always present love in its most convenient form, and Sheikh Hamdan knew this truth better than most. As he stood before the crowd, the light in his eyes spoke of both longing and restraint. His voice carried the weight of a man torn between duty and desire, between the life he had vowed to honor and the soul he had found unexpectedly. "She is my soulmate," he began, "but life has written another story for me." His words rippled through the hearts of those listening, for they were not just about love, they were about sacrifice, honor, and the silent battles that few would ever truly see. He spoke of her presence like the wind, gentle, unclaimed, yet capable of stirring an ocean inside him. She did not belong to him, nor did he belong to her in the way hearts dream of, but their connection was undeniable. Sometimes, he confessed softly, your soul meets another, and you know instantly, it is them. But fate whispers, not in this lifetime. That single sentence felt like both a wound and a blessing, for those who understood the ache of an impossible love could feel it pulsing through his words. Every conversation with her was like stepping into another universe. She understood his silences, completed his sentences, and looked at him as if she could see the man beneath the crown. Yet, every time they spoke, there was a reminder, a silent wall built from vows and promises that could not be broken. "My heart has a home," he said, "but my soul has found its mirror elsewhere." He paused, as if the truth itself was heavy to carry in public. He did not pretend to be flawless. Sheikh Hamdan's words were stripped of the poetry that hides truth. This was raw honesty. "I will not cross the line that breaks trust," he vowed, "but I cannot deny the pull of her presence." His voice trembled slightly, not from fear but from the sheer magnitude of the emotional tightrope he was walking. To love without possession, to cherish without touching, was a test of strength not many could endure. He recalled the first time they met, how her laughter did not just fill the air but seeped into the deepest corners of his being. It was as if his soul whispered, "There you are." And yet, the very next breath reminded him of the ring on his finger, the promises made before God, the life he had already chosen. "The world thinks love is always about claiming," he said, "but sometimes the purest form of love is to stand back and protect it from yourself." The crowd listened in silence as he described the torment of watching her walk away each time they met, knowing he could never call her his. He did not paint himself as a tragic figure, rather, as a man who understood that love could be both a gift and a responsibility. "I will not destroy lives for my own happiness," he said, the firmness in his tone unshaken. "And yet, in the quiet hours of the night, I think of her. She was the one who made him question everything. Why love arrives late, why hearts do not ask for permission before attaching themselves, why the soul's truth can differ from life's reality. I do not seek to change what cannot be changed," he admitted. "I only seek to treasure what I have been given, even if it is only in stolen moments of conversation and silent prayers." He spoke of dreams. Dreams where they walked together openly, without fear, without guilt. But every morning, reality reminded him of his place. "She lives in my dreams," he said with a bittersweet smile, "and in my prayers." Maybe that is enough. Maybe it has to be. It was not resignation. It was acceptance, the kind that still hurt but allowed one to breathe. His voice grew softer as he shared how she inspired him, even from a distance. Her kindness, her strength, her laughter, all of it fueled his own will to be a better man. "If my life cannot have her in the way I wish, then my life will still carry her light," he said. "Because some people enter your life not to stay, but to awaken you." He addressed the unspoken judgment in the room. Many wondered if such a confession was betrayal in itself. But Sheikh Hamdan's eyes met theirs with unwavering honesty. "The heart does not ask permission to feel," he said, "but a man can choose how he acts upon it. My choice is loyalty. My choice is honor. My choice is to love in silence." There was a quiet dignity in the way he carried his truth. He did not seek pity or admiration, only understanding. He knew some would never comprehend how love could exist without action, how yearning could be preserved without possession. "This is not weakness," he said firmly, "it is strength, to hold the fire in your chest and not let it burn the world around you." His closing words lingered like a haunting melody. "She is my soulmate, but I am already married. Life has placed me on this path, and I will walk it with my head held high. But somewhere, in another life, perhaps God will allow me to walk beside her, not just in my dreams but under the open sky." The audience sat in silence long after he finished, not because they had no words, but because their hearts were too full. His confession was not merely about love, it was about restraint, faith, and the complexity of the human heart. It was a reminder that not every great love story ends in union, but some still last forever in the soul. And as Sheikh Hamdan walked away, there was an air of peace around him. He had not denied his heart, nor had he betrayed his vows. Instead, he carried his love like a secret garden, hidden from the world, yet forever blooming within him. That was his truth, and it was enough. When he was alone that night, Sheikh Hamdan sat by the open balcony, the Dubai skyline stretching before him like a painting of dreams he could never touch. The city was alive, yet his heart was quietly breaking. The moonlight spilled across his hands as he held a pen, knowing the words he was about to write would never be sent. This letter was for her, and yet, it was for himself, a confession to the wind, a whisper to the night that carried her name. "My beloved soul," he began, his handwriting slow, deliberate. "You will never read this, but I write because I must free these thoughts from the prison of my heart. I am a man bound by honor, yet my soul escapes to find you every time I close my eyes. You are the echo I hear in the quietest moments, the unseen shadow that walks beside me when I'm surrounded by others." His chest tightened with the realization that these feelings, though pure, would remain unspoken forever. He leaned back in his chair, remembering her face. It wasn't just beauty, it was the way she carried herself, the way her eyes seemed to hold the weight of stories she never told. He remembered the way she listened, not just to his words, but to the spaces between them. "When I speak, you hear the truth I hide from the world," he wrote, "and when I am silent, you still understand." That kind of connection was rare, sacred, and perhaps that was why fate had been so careful to keep them apart.